Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm Aklima Bibi, your host and a human rights lawyer. On today's show, we have Uateka Oberoi and Minara Uddin, and we'll be talking about empowering women and girls. As we believe, an empowered woman or a girl can change the world. For those of us who are working towards empowering women and girls and supporting international development initiatives, we know that investing in and empowering women and girls is a perfect recipe to sustainable development. Empowering women and girls should be a goal for everyone for many reasons, starting with right to education and career. It's a goal that I wholeheartedly believe in. But why is it a struggle for many, even here in the UK? Sonia, so why do you think it's a good idea to empower women and girls? What's your opinion?
A good idea? I think you're
Excellent
underestimating
idea.
that.
Okay, I agree.
I think you're
But-
I think it's it's an excellent idea of empowering women and girls because it's an asset that every woman and girl needs to have to make a better life for themselves. Whether there's a mother at home, whether there's a woman in career, whether there's children in education, it's just a great asset that everyone, women and children need to have.
Right. What about you, Minna?
Definitely, as Sonia has said, it's very important. It's crucial for female empowerment from young to old or middle age or whatever the age. It's important for the decision making process, even about your own life, the individual's life.
Okay.
Be it for education, be it for home decisions, family, children. You know, there's a vast empowering is a vast. It's a vast.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But empowering women and girls, it could be educating women and girls. Is empowering a bit too strong, or what's your definition of the empowering? I mean, I find it empowering, it could be many different elements of empowering.
There are many different elements. I mean, there's education, there's knowledge, there's confidence boosting, there's self-confidence. There's so many, and the list is endless. But, the factor is the obstacles and the downside of the situation is that not many women and girls are fortunate enough to get that help or want to have that help and come forward.
Mina, you work with the community events. What are the obstacles? I mean, this country has the vast opportunities for them to take these privileges. Yes. What's your suggestions on obstacles?
Being part of a youth and community-based organisation, we do provide opportunities for women in the community and everybody inclusive in the community. So,
do women, girls come forward? Do they take the opportunity?
Some areas maybe, some not. There are girls who do come. There are teenage girls who've just left.
I experienced that as well. I mean, I done an event a couple of years ago, and I sort of spoke to the women. I went to their houses. I spoke to their partners. I said, bring the children along. They had a problem with the children. I said, that's not an issue. But when the event did happen, I just got 2 teenage girls. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
And then I sort of try to I give them another call and see whether they wanted to come along on another day. Maybe it was.
Did they give you a reason though?
Oh no, they didn't. I mean, it was just there were so many reasons, and I really don't want to sort of state the reasons.
Okay.
But there were a lot of obstacles that I found, and a lot of issues that came across to mind. That yes, these women are not fortunate enough to come forward and
couldn't be, but. It's prevented them from coming to your event.
That's right, yeah.
To take advantage further.
That's right.
But couldn't they actually seek advice, is it because, what I'm trying to understand is, when you get an opportunity, you utilize it. Why would you not do that?
See, that's the situation, and that's the reason why, there's a lot of struggle here in the UK of women being empowered, because there is a lot of help that you can utilize, and you can go to libraries, you can go to community centres, and they do one-to-one coaching. There's group sessions. There's even at the nurseries. But there's a lot of issues, and those issues are the main factors of women are not coming forward to being empowered, or girls coming forward to being empowered.
Is it because they lack confidence? Is that the main barrier? Because I would have thought confidence, they're eager to learn, would take priority.
No, it's not lack of confidence, because they don't have the confidence in the first place in order to be empowered. In order
How
to be
do we
empowered,
do that? How do we work together? Because I believe when you have an educated parent or a mother, you get educated children. How do we encourage that? I mean, there must be a way. We've got the opportunity, but we want to be able to get these sort of like the privileges to be taken advantage of.
See, not many parents have that privilege. I mean, we come from a larger ethnic minority community. There's a mixture. You mix with loads of people, and you see that not many people are fortunate to have that education. Not many people are educated. Not many parents are.
But there are great doctors, great lawyers as well. Within many ethnic minorities.
Of course, there are.
Yeah.
There are, but there's time, and you see people that are in a career. They come home, they're exhausted.
Yeah.
They don't have time to sit with their kids and do it home. I mean, there's a homework club just down the road to me, and all the children there come from educated backgrounds. And you're thinking, so why are you actually paying for this when you can have this at home on your parents? But it's time, So it's not only the situation where a parent has to be educated and their children will be educated by themselves. No.
Okay. What about the next generation? Mina, you work with the youth groups, I understand.
Groups and women.
What about the next generation? Let's say we've had maybe sort of the first generation of, people who came over to the UK. Okay, they kind of lack some sort of like, they didn't have education in the past. What about this generation?
But again,
the second, third?
Aklima, you're saying that the first generation, I mean, although they didn't, it was more about self-help back then, because there was self-help. It was self-help. They went out there, they wanted to learn the language, they wanted to do. So it was a different generation.
Yeah.
Now there are opportunities, there's lots of opportunities, but then again, it could be for whatever, it could be just vulnerabilities, lacking that.
That's right, yeah.
Or taking that first step to even know how to go about doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, so well, even though we're digitally and technology is so forward, we can say it, but even some people don't even know how to access the web.
They don't. I mean, I do.
So
I run a course.
Why is that though? Is it
course.
some people? Is it the elder generation, the 40s, or the younger generation who can't access?
I run a course. I've got elderly people coming along how to send an email. And they've got kids at home who are educated, who are 24 hours on the computer. I mean, one of the client that comes to me who learns how to do online, just doing Word documents or sending an email, has an accountant son sitting at home. So I'm surely
but he came to you to get help.
But he came to me.
Okay, to learn. Well, that in itself is empowering, isn't it?
That's right.
It's self-help.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think we needed to get more people to do that, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the world has gone digital.
That's right. Yeah.
And take the advantage. Is that what we're trying to do, or is that your intention? Tell us some of the experiences you have within your professional role as a youth worker.
As a youth and community worker,
and
working with, if we're going back to female empowerment, again, the opportunities provided, some of these women are already part of women's groups, maybe in just community centres, just like tea sessions, morning breakfast, tea and things, and they're all already there, but they're maybe because of funding, as we know, funding is another major thing that some organisations are not able to provide the extent in support that they
but
like
funding,
to.
you said it's like a funding, but there's universities, there's colleges who are being funded by the government. There's English classes as well.
Again, there is a lot, and some of these women, some of these young women and women are taking advantage of it.
Okay.
And that's the positive side, I would say, because we even
some
provide
of them,
courses
and some of them are
everything.
unfortunate because obviously they don't have the confidence to go out there and
Is
do
it
this.
the confidence, or is it sort of like, let's say the immigrant women coming over, as wives or maybe dependent child? Is it, why are they lacking? Why is there a barrier? Because if you were born and brought up in the UK, you automatically know the roots. You go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you become a great doctor or a lawyer or whatever professional role you want to get.
Not necessarily. People that, I mean, you know, I come across a lot of people that have been born and brought up in the UK, have gone to UK schools, and you can't tell the difference between an immigrant lady and themselves. You know, so it's not really saying that an immigrant coming from abroad has the language barrier, the self-confidence or so on. It's just, you know, having the ability to get that help. You know, they could be sitting at home. I mean, you know, they could be sitting up. Look, there's loads of online courses that are in different languages. Okay, so it's not about somebody coming, an immigrant lady coming from abroad that doesn't know a word of English. You know, there is help out there. There's a larger ethnic minority community wherever you go. There's a Polish community. So if you want to go and get help and you can't speak the language, there are still organizations, there are still clubs that you go to.
But why are the barriers? You know, the obstacles. That's what I'm actually, you know, is it because of the language barrier? What I'm trying to understand is why is the barrier? If you know the language, if you know the way of life here in the UK, you know the roots, so you automatically know. But I'm trying to sort of understand, why is there a barrier for women and girls to go and empower, to go and educate themselves?
Aklima. There could be home life, there could be children, there could be partners, there could be, they're not confident enough.
What about the language?
There could be language, there could be anything.
Because, you know, I mean, I've sort of heard, and obviously you know, in my last profession as well, I've seen and heard women who struggle with languages, you know, and I think that is the biggest barrier. That's what I feel. For immigrant women or girls, I find that the biggest barrier is the language barrier. Because if you don't know how to speak English, you don't know where to go. How do you overcome that?
You need your basic, even your basic for your day-to-day life. If English is not your first language,
well, you can't even get a visa, permanent stay here in the UK without the language.
So it is. Then again, that will prompt the individual to go out there, and
of course
there are people who will go out there,
but
individual women who will go out there and to find out that college that will do that English class, find out who will do.
But do they do it though? Do they? Okay, they probably will do it from experience. You know, they probably, over my professional experience, they probably do it for the sake of getting a visa or a stay. But would they do it to empower themselves to be somebody better?
No, I come across some women in my self-help groups and stuff like that, and they've empowered themselves, and they've learned English because they want to help their children. They want to understand what their children are coming home saying, "Mom, we want this, Mom. Can you help us with the homework?"
Are there many?
Oh, they're coming out now. Yes, of course.
I would say,
you know what? They could educate themselves at home. They don't need to be walking out the front door. They don't need to have the language barrier. They've got children that go to local UK schools, speak the language, and they're a great help. They're a great help to parents.
Yes.
And I know this woman that has been empowered, and she said her son is an inspiration to her. And I said, why? Why is your son an inspiration to you? Because she taught me how to speak English.
Yeah. Are there many though?
Well, you will be.
Well, you'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
There are a lot of even community champions, even women who have actually started their own little self-help groups.
That's right.
Just with a few women, and it's built up just by going to the local community centre. Even just to get women together, just to come out, because even
do they come out though, or are they going to be? Is there going to be a barrier? Is there likely to be a barrier?
You know what? There's always going to be
an individual.
Do you know what?
Individual needs.
There's always going to be a struggle, in the UK. There's always going to be a struggle because of the life here, because of family life, children. There's always going to be a struggle, but they've got to be aware, and for them to know, just to know that there's a lot of help out there that they can come forward and get help.
What services are available for women to take advantage of?
Well, there's services available through the GPs, through the local community centres,
libraries,
through the local websites, community websites.
I go to the library and I do a little coaching session there for young women, and I see all these mothers coming with their kids, and they're sitting there, they're talking, and the kids are reading books, and they're actually sitting there reading the books with them. So that's actually helping them. That's empowering them,
and it's getting them out as well.
Yeah. So I think even women get empowered by their own children.
Yes.
So.
Well, to be honest with you, I've actually seen women who come up to me and say, "Oh, I really wish I could do something like you. You're such a role model." But the thing is, I tell them that there is opportunities, and and take advantage of it. But I think what I kind of understand is they lack the confidence, and I want to be able to boost that confidence. I mean, you encourage them so much. Do you have any message for these women, a lot of these women and even girls, to actually tell them go get it? How would you actually say, how would you describe it? Some of these women, they think they're not good enough. Some of the girls think, I can't do what somebody else has done. What's the message from you?
All the more,
Mina?
I mean, all the more, as you said, the resources are there. We, as coming from different professions, as a youth group, we're providing services.
Yeah, but services that are there. There are services there.
There are existing services.
See, every woman is a role model to herself, and every girl is a role model to herself.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the confidence that a lot of people lack.
But sometimes confidence is not enough because they have young children.
Even if somebody is in a career or anything like that, they still lack confidence. It's still an issue.
But is it confidence? Sometimes, there are young children involved. They think, no, my children needs me. Is it confidence or is it barriers because they think they need to look after the children?
Priorities is another thing. I think it's how the individual woman would prioritize her life. And if her children are to come first, I mean, then they will.
Let's say if there was a young child, let's say, under 1 year old, and somebody really wanted to go out to education, what can they do? Where can they leave? I mean,
there's a lot of institutions, there's a lot of clubs that have got creche for the children. I mean, they're coming out now. I mean, every single English international school here, every single college, even Barnfield College, they've got a creche.
What about the finance, though?
So,
how would the finance?
Obviously, you get childcare. Obviously, you go back to education. The community are helping you. There's resources out there. There's loads of funding.
Student funding and everything.
Okay.
And they're eager. They're letting people go out there and get back to work and have their children in education. I mean, even private nurseries are now. You're getting childcare costs up to 70%. So people need to know about these things, and there is a lot of help out there.
But the services, are they aware of these services? Within many communities, they probably don't even know that the services are available. How do they access these services?
How do they access these services? Again,
like you said, a lot of them don't even know
what's there, what's available.
They don't even know how to access internet. Yeah.
Again, watch out for them. The way you in your local, the local area newspaper.
Okay.
What if
they can't read English?
Not only that. Not only that. It's word of mouth. I will tell somebody, you know what? There's a group down the road. Would you like to come? I'm going to it. Would you like to come? Everybody wants to go with somebody.
Yes.
Somebody will not want to go on their own. Okay. So a lot of word of mouth. There's a lot of there's a lot of women that get together, sewing clubs. So many things, and they talk.
And they talk exactly.
Thank you both. We're going to take a short break now. Welcome back. We've been discussing about empowering women and girls. Let's continue with our discussion with Sonia and Mina. Before we went on a break, we were discussing how accessible the informations were for people who want to go and empower, educate themselves. And I just wanted to ask one more question about, are they translated or are they in English? Because some people don't speak English, some people can't read English. So, will they be getting it in their own languages?
Well, the other thing is there's now a lot of people interpret. A lot of interpreters, a lot of support workers and a lot of other professional workers have second language, which is an advantage. Also, with regards to documents, flyers and posters, some posters even have it translated as well. So it's another advantage.
Yeah.
So there are loads of varied ways of accessing, and especially in some communities, you do, whether it's whatever language you speak, whether it's Sylhet or Somali or Chinese or Hindi, Urdu or whatever. It's versatile now.
It's versatile,
It's
and there are people
accessible,
work
and
there
there's
that
a
are
lot
different
of
languages and
yeah.
so on, and it's so easy and it's accessible, and so this is what everybody needs to know, and they come forward and go to these libraries, and obviously they go to libraries every weekend with the kids and stuff, and it's very easy to find this information,
and also ask for it, because if there is something that you know you're not seeing, you can ask for
of
it,
course.
and that's your right as
That's
well.
right. Right.
It's a right of yours. If it's not there, you're not seeing it, ask for it. Ask for it, and the organization you go to or wherever it may be, they have a duty to support you as well. So.
What about careers advice? I mean, a lot of people, a lot of women and girls, they could be confused about what career paths to take. Do you have any suggestions for them?
Yeah, well, with regards to school, I mean, career in school, they have their own career service.
Yes, of course. They don't have their career advice centre anymore. They used to have.
They used to have the connections
and
things
did.
like that, and the services they used to provide for young
Do they have
women.
some
that's right.
But
they do it purely in school now, and they educate them through what they want to become. And I mean, now, my daughter is 14 years old, and she's already been coached and told about careers to become older and so on. So
what about mothers? What about mothers at home? Okay, first of all, I suppose the first thing they need to do is, if they don't have the English language, to get that. But sometimes they could be, what is the point? What is the point of learning English? My kids can do it for me. How can I think they should be inspired. But they could be they could be sort of confused. Do I actually aim for a career?
But why would they be confused? I don't understand.
No,
in the sense of it goes as it learns. When your child is at home, obviously your children are going to a UK school. Their first language at the moment is English.
Okay.
And generally, you pick up the language. If I was living in another country with somebody from Poland, I would generally pick up their language if I was living with them every day. So, women tend to pick up a language, in English through their children.
Do you agree, Meghna? I mean, we've got so many women who don't speak.
Yeah, so many women who don't speak. But again, well, like we just discussed before, there are language classes you can attend to a stepping stone onto your ambitions or what you would like to do. It doesn't matter. If there is a barrier, you see how you can overcome that barrier. That's the main important thing. How can I plan, how can I overcome it? If it is a language barrier in specific, it could be a disability as well. It could be something, physical disability, not allowing them to go out. So maybe they might need a support in that sense, someone who comes in, takes them out. So it's all a matter of, what do I want? What is my barrier? And you identify, but then saying that again, going through access and resources, coming back to that, where when we have delivered women, the team that I work with, as I said, called NUAC, when we come back to resources, what we're providing, what we do, if there is something that we identify those barriers, so then we can help women the young women and the females who have those barriers. So once those barriers are identified, then you can follow on to and help and see what their needs are, because it's all individual needs, it's all different needs.
Everyone
if there's language classes, you can do referrals, or if we can provide a course, a whole lot of series of things. Yes, maybe there might be a barrier in childcare as well. So they could be. What about vulnerable
women? What about vulnerable women who don't even have the self-confidence to come out? It's not that they don't want to come out. It's because they might be limited in many ways. How can they access? I think a lot of them, you're saying, if you got the willpower, you can do it. But there are many vulnerable women and even young girls.
Yes, who are
how do we encourage them? How do we inspire them? We can always say so many things, Is there a special needs, special, services that can be provided for them?
There, of course.
Well, there's a lot of counselling out there that, I mean, even when you go to a local doctor's surgery or the GP, they get counselling there, and they're told, if they need any help. And, there's a lot of counselling out there, even if having somebody to talk to is a big thing for them, So, the main issue is the vulnerable women in the stage of, I think they suffer mainly from self-confidence.
I've sort of heard that there are loads of women out there who suffer other things, for example, domestic violence. And some, immigrant women as well, they're not allowed to even step out of their house. That is a great sadness. Is there anything that they can do? I mean, I know you said, they can access the GP service.
Aklima, there's so much,
how...
you know what, everybody, there's a lot, it's like what Meghna was saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of individual needs. There's a lot of individual issues.
Yeah.
And one can help one another on different levels. And take that stepping stone to help them, whatever they're suffering, whether they've come from an abusive background, whether they're vulnerable, whether the language barrier, whether the disability. There's so many issues out there. So there's not an individual help in such way you can say, how can we help these people? There's a stepping stone, and we have to overcome that.
Is it an individual choice? I mean, I suppose what you're trying to say, or what I understand, is the fact that you want to come out of this situation. There are help out there. Have the self-confidence and utilize the services available. For example, vulnerable women, they can approach the GP. Is it even the law enforcement? And access those services in order.
Even if you've got somebody to talk to, even if your neighbour, even somebody that's willing to sit down and listen, and give you time, and that helps a lot, a great deal. Because I come across a lot of people, and I tend to even not be in a professional side to the situation. I try to be their friend. Because I want to understand them, and I want to try to help their needs and what they're going through. So it helps, even if they don't really need to be stepping out of their house, and they can get the help. So you can pick up the phone. There's a lot of helplines out there that you can talk to in your own language as well. Okay. So there's so much out there.
And take advantage.
Take
advantage of this.
There is no overnight solution.
No, there isn't. It's a stepping stone.
Gaining that self-confidence and empowering your own, what your needs are and how you go about it. I mean, you might be the most confident person at one time, and then whatever reason, an event might take place in your life, and it might knock your confidence. But again, you build up, you pick yourself up. Yeah. Some find it easier than others. Yes, they do. And if it's not, again, you go out there, maybe starting by just talking exactly as we said.
Yeah, it's
but
a big thing.
Again, it's self-help.
Because a lot of people they have so much inside them. Yeah. They want to get that out, and it's nice because you get to talk to somebody and have that conversation, and that self-empowerment comes within them because they've had the confidence to talk about what they're going through. And that is the most.
I heard a phrase: "Every success starts with a will to try." Is that the message? You're trying to say? So they have to help themselves.
No, they don't have to help themselves, but they don't know they're helping themselves, and that's what the great thing about it. Because when they start getting to that stepping stone, that's the first thing of helping themselves, and they don't know that. They're unaware of that.
Okay, so it's a good idea to actually start. Helping themselves or taking the advantage.
Even thinking about, just thinking about, what do I need? What are my needs? Yeah. And where can I access them? Well, again, the access comes after, but it would be starting with myself.
How can I help myself? Yeah. And how do I get myself out of the situation?
What do I want?
Yes.
Have the dreams, have the goals. Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Even if you're a career woman, there still can be empowering that you need. Maybe it could be work related in your workplace.
I mean, there's a lot of could be anything.
Yeah, it could be ambitions that or other ambitions that you have. So maybe you might need juggling, in ways, and maybe you need to.
So coming back to the situation, coming back to the beginning, like I said, it's an excellent thing, to empower women, and it's a great asset for every woman and girl to have. So some people don't know, and they're actually helping themselves. So
they can be somebody great. One other thing I've sort of heard in many community is the shame and the honor to disrespect the family. So is that one of the barriers that's kind of stopping many women as well? I mean, we talked about vulnerable women, but sometimes women do want to come. They are vulnerable, but sometimes they're kind of lacking the confidence to actually sort of say to themselves, is it for me or is it for my family? Do I have to not go out because it's going to shame my family? Is that another kind of self-confidence?
Like I said, Aklima, and like I'm going to say again, that there's an every issue for an individual need, and just what Meghna said.
Yeah.
So, coming back to the situation where we can't state... Sorry, my voice is going now.
No, don't worry. Do you want to drink? Are you okay?
And basically what it is we can't pick and point every single individual need of somebody's, whether they're vulnerable, whether they've suffered from domestic violence, whether they, come from a background where they're unfortunate enough, whether they're honor, respect, and so on. All we're trying to state here is that there is help out there for everyone. Whatever situation they're in, please come forward, because and also they obviously go to their local community, their libraries, children, education, so on. Even television nowadays show a great deal of help, advice. So we just want to state that this is the reason why we're here, and we're trying to create the awareness.
Thank you, Sonia.
Yeah.
We're going to take another short break.
Okay.
Welcome back. Meghna, let's continue. Where were we before the break?
Well,
we covered so many things.
We have spoken about a lot, about resources, accessing, other services, everything. We've spoken quite a lot.
I feel, we haven't covered self-empowerment in general. There is self-empowerment all over the world. There's a lot of role models all over the world. There's leadership. Famous quote by Napoleon Hill. He said, whatever the mind can believe and achieve, or the mind can conceive and achieve, the mind can believe. So, there's 11 laws of success that people can go ahead. If there's someone who likes to go to library and read books on empowerment, Napoleon Hill is a famous brain quote. So go ahead, pick up one of his books and read them, and it's very inspiring for me. I mean, I'm so inspired by even Oprah Winfrey. She made a famous it was a popular leadership sort of a show she had, and whatever she's been through in life, it's great to see where she is in life now. So there's a lot of role models out there, a lot of people out there that we can learn from.
Do you have any role models yourself then, Sonia?
No, I'm a role model myself.
Oh, right, that's brilliant. That's very empowering.
Like I said, whatever the
mind
mind can believe, you can achieve. So if you believe in yourself, you're a role model.
Yeah.
What about you, Meghna?
I do believe that what we do and how our mindset is and how we deliver what we deliver in our daily, whether it's work life or family life or whatever, it is our mindset. And if we have that positive attitude that we thinking and that attitude that we wake up every day, somebody else will get inspired by that, and we are inspiring. We don't know who will inspire along.
Okay. We inspire every day, don't we?
Whether
we
it's
learn
a young
things
person,
every day.
whether it's a young person, a female, male. I mean, anybody. You don't know who you'll be inspiring. That's right. It is about your mindset. It is about how you
be your own role model, like Sonia.
That's right. Well, if you can believe in yourself, you can achieve, can't you? So
and the opportunities are there, endless.
Yes,
take the advantage.
It is endless. And what Sonia was saying about role models, others like brain quotes and
that's right.
Self-empowerment.
That's right.
Another one, you can self-empower yourself even by reading. Reading is important.
Reading is a very important.
Reading a
you gain a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, reading even a simple quote, as you say, you might come across something in a paper, or even on your phone, because now
and it makes
it's
you
like
think.
walking, talking devices as your handset now. So
and it makes
we're
you
talking
think.
about maybe we're talking about celebrities. Maybe somebody out there has a role model in their own house. It could be a role model, their mother,
mother,
or
father,
father,
sister.
I mean, everybody takes their own roles.
Uncle.
Yeah, that's right.
And
so anyone can take the role, can't they?
Whoever's inspired by, it could be celebrities. Some do, whether do get inspired. I think young people are more influenced by.
That's right. They idolise what they do and what they don't do. But
Kendall
everybody's a
Jenner
role model within themselves, and there's a learning path and learning curve to it, and you learn generally every day. So
And with today's digital world,
that's right. Yeah.
It's on your fingertips.
Yes.
It's fair to say it's on your fingertips.
Yeah, of course.
Take the advantage.
Indeed it is.
And be somebody great. Be your own role model.
That's right.
Why not be? Because you can inspire others as well.
That's
it doesn't matter what your age is. Even a young person. I mean, Sonia's talked about Oprah Winfrey. You've mentioned, and you mentioned Napoleon Hill as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But with regards to young people or even young women, Malala Yousafzai comes to
mind. Oh my God, that's so fantastic, wasn't it?
If you're talking about, if we were talking about empowerment, she spoke up.
Of course,
she was only 14. She was only 14 years old,
and now she's studying here in the UK.
That's right. Yeah, and she's an
inspiration. She's an
inspiration,
and she's a winner of many prizes.
Right.
The Nobel Prize.
I think we are looking at a future leader.
Children's. She was nominated for. This is one person.
Are we looking at a future leader then?
And coming back to Aklima, you're saying leaders, even on your own doorstep.
That's
we have
right.
community leaders.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have leaders in various things as politics.
That's right.
Leadership,
School,
or even just running small workshops. I mean, it depends on what your aspirations. Are as
and
well,
what you believe and what you want to achieve,
and you need to believe.
Yes,
it is important to believe and to know what you want.
That's right.
Empowerment is knowing.
Many people just don't know what they want, and until they know and get to that point, that's where it starts.
Starting with education. It's starting with education.
Education
I had a quote as well. Education gives you knowledge. Knowledge gives you power. Power to be your own free queen or king.
Right.
As we know, it's So if you're not fortunate to have education that's of a high standard, let's say a university.
It's not only education. I disagree with that. I feel that it's just as a life experience.
Exactly.
Every day is a learning curve.
Yes.
I'm sitting here, I'm learning. I'm going to go home, I'm learning. So it's not rather the education sector. It's what you want to achieve and what you want to believe in and what you want to learn.
Again, coming back, whether your home life, work life, or any function of your day-to-day routine.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, Meghna, thank you. Sonia, thank you. We've come to the end of the show. But I'd like to say that every investment empowers a woman or a girl, creates a chain reaction of betterment that influences not only her life, but the lives of her family and that of the community too. As author Cheryl Uddin writes in her book, Half the Sky, when you educate a girl, there is a ripple effect that goes beyond what you would get on a normal investment. When you educate a girl, you educate a whole village. It turns out women and girls are the most powerful investments you can make in building a better future. So do support them. And please do let us know. And please do let us have your comments on this topic or any of our shows on Let's Talk About It at lb24.tv. Until next time, goodbye.